Hello, my dear friends from all over the world. This is Maxine Taylor, America's first licensed astrologer. And today I have the forecast for the United States for the month of November. No, this is not a political prediction. There is so much going on that from diametrically opposed camps that I'm going to leave that open. Today is the 5th of November, and of course, people have been voting. Gosh, seems like forever. I'm going to share what I see for our country the month of November. Now, I want you to keep in mind that Mercury has been in the shadow of the retrograde. Actually, it hadn't even gotten there yet. And it's going to be retrograde for a while. I'm going to go over that with you and explain it. Some of you are astrologers and you know what that means. For those of you who do not know, I'm going to explain everything and keep it very, very simple. Okay? Okay. Getting organized here. Well, first of all, this is the United States chart, as I always do every month. And I only put the current and future for the month planets around the wheel because that's what we're focusing on. So let's just jump in, shall we? The sun, the yellow planet, is the giver of life. It is the center of our world. The thing is, it's in the sixth house, and then on the 29th, it moves into our seventh house. Those of you who study astrology probably know that the house definitions and descriptions are different for a country, for a mundane chart, than a person's chart. So I'm going to read off each house so that you can put the pieces together all by yourself very simply. So I'm going to start here once again with the sun, the giver of life. And it's in our sixth house of health. However, in a mundane chart, it's not just health. It's the military, it's jobs. Yeah, and of course, we've had people on strike. Civil servants, our pets, our food, okay? Animals in general, and our police and fire departments. It is the daily living of everybody in this country. It is in the sixth house. The sun is in the sixth house, shedding a light on everything that I just described. And everything can move forward. And Mercury can slow it up. Okay. Can you tell I'm choosing my words very carefully? All righty. So on the 29th, the sun moves from the sixth house into the seventh house. Now that's partnership. In a mundane chart, that deals with international affairs. I'm reading this because I don't want to leave anything out. Okay. international affairs, war. Say, well, the sun, the giver of life. Mundanely, de, uh, this is determined by our leadership on what level this will function. So let me start again. International affairs, war, lawsuits, uh, our open enemies, the people who we know would like to annihilate us, lawyers, politics, marriage and divorce, and the lower courts. Now, when I saw lower courts, I thought, great. There's the sun on the 29th moving into the seventh house. Yes. And so things are going to come out in the open much more. Now, we had a new moon on the 1st of November. That's when the energy starts growing. It's in our sixth house, and I've just read all of the definitions. Actually, there are probably some that are new. When I say new, in the astrological world, we are moving forward into AIs, space travel, etc. That I'm using those as examples. So the new moon was on the 1st, and it's in 9 degrees of Scorpio, the most powerful sign, I think. Now, 2 weeks later, we've got a full moon on the 15th, and it's in 24 degrees of Taurus. On the full moon, things come to a head. In other words, on the new moon, energy starts flowing. On the full moon, the seeds you have planted on the new moon come to a head. Here's the 12th house. And this one, I certainly hope functions on its highest and best level. Bribery, spies, hidden enemies, and these can be our own people, hidden enemies, prison, jail, hospitals, criminals, charitable institutions, seclusion, secret societies, secret clubs, and what they plan to do, and welfare. And so on the full moon, what's going to be happening is that there's going to be a lot of behind the scenes activities that don't get reported in the press. And I understand that because all countries are wanting to protect themselves. I understand that. I'm sure you do too. But I'm telling you, on this full moon, we will not be privy to what is going on. Now, Mercury is fixing to go retrograde. It will move into the shadow on November 7th. Let's see, today is the 5th. So in 2 days, I always experience the shadow of the retrograde before it even moves into the shadow of the retrograde. Mercury will go retrograde on November 26th. Now, we do not begin a new project on a retrograde Mercury simply because if we do that, it will either fizzle out completely or have to be redone within the year. So we want to keep that in mind. Okay, Mercury will come out of retrograde and will go direct December 16th. It will immediately go into the shadow of the retrograde one more time and will come out of the shadow January 2nd, 2025. Whenever Mercury is retrograde, communication, correspondence, and transportation all get kerflooey. You plan something, it doesn't work out. And this is why what we want to do on the retrograde Mercury is tie up the loose ends of unfinished projects. And that is just absolutely terrific. The behind the scenes activities that we will be seeing from the full moon fall in the category of perhaps fall in the category. I don't want to say something without being able to back it up, but I feel like that's when we're going to revamp. There'll be lots of private meetings. People are going to meet quietly and privately. And please, dear God, when Mercury goes retrograde, let it be from a loving space. Mercury, like the sun, is in the sixth house. And what I read for the sun holds true for Mercury as well. Now, Mercury is not an action planet. It's a thinking and communicating planet. So lots of talk while Mercury is in the sixth house. On the seventh, which is very interesting, Mercury moves into the seventh house. And once again, it's in the shadow. I shouldn't say once again, but Mercury goes retrograde 3 times a year. And those of you who study astrology know that that's how it works. So it's no different than it always has been. Tie up loose ends, don't start a new job, don't buy a new car unless your car broke down on the expressway, that type of thing. Okay, those are the first 2 planets. Now, Venus, the planet of love and beauty. Venus is called the lesser benefic. I don't think there's anything lesser about it. It's the planet of love and beauty and money and art. And did I mention love? It's one more time, love, three times is a charm. Now, Venus is blessing our 7th house. And let me remind you of the 7th house. International affairs, war, marriage, lawsuits, our open enemies, lawyers, marriage and divorce. I mean, choose one. Politics, the lower courts, and contracts, and the public. And so this is lots of interaction with people on the part of our government. Remember, Venus blesses whatever it touches. Now, on the 15th, it moves into the 8th house of secrets, transformation, death. Let me tell you the mundane manifestations. The treasurer, debts, escrow, taxes, losses, death, and above all, secrets. Now, the 8th house deals with out with the old, in with the new. This deals with other people's money, this is not the type of money that you would say that goes into your wallet. This is the whole money picture. And it's going to be operative when Venus is in the eighth house. Venus rules money. It blesses it. And so there can be more money exchanging hands. That can be very positive for everybody. Then on the 29th, Venus moves into the ninth house. Now, in a regular chart for a human being, the ninth house is higher education, faraway places. So let me tell you what it is in a country's charts. The charts, yeah. The upper courts. In other words, we're talking about the Supreme Court, foreign travel and communication with foreigners, education, religion, the clergy, advertising, science, insurance, as I mentioned, the Supreme Court, philosophy, world trade, and universities. And you'll find, depending on your lifestyle and how you live every day, one of these or two or maybe more will be what you're talking about. And on the 29th, Venus moves into the ninth house of the United States chart. And of course, that deals with foreign people, travel, higher education. It deals with our belief systems. Venus blesses those areas. You can't beat it with a stick. Then let's look over here. Jupiter is the greater benefic. Whatever Jupiter touches, it expands it. Venus and Jupiter are the two good guys. So let me now, Jupiter is retrograde until the beginning of February. So it's hurry up and wait for a lot of stuff. But let me tell you what the first house in a mundane chart indicates. The attitude, the political attitude, and the mood of the country, as well as public health. Now, public health can be marvelous. It can cover many things. Just kind of think about what has been going on lately. And it should be able to clear up by early February when Jupiter goes direct. Mars. Mars is what you fight with and fight for. It sits right smack dab in the third house all month. Let me read you the mundane interpretation of the third house, keeping in mind that Mars will fight with and for whatever it considers to be the most important. The third house is transportation, ideas. Well, let me just read you, okay? News reporters. Hello. They've been getting a bad rap by some people. So, news reporters, communication, transportation, the railroads. I can't read my own writing. postal services, public opinion, traffic, short distance travel, books, newspapers, neighborhood matters, schools, public transportation, and interestingly enough, public psychology. The report is that we see on TV, that we hear on our cell phones or radio, are some of them are just excellent at what they do. They explain things so clearly. And with Mars in that third house, they may object to poor treatment or being a scapegoat or anybody, because this is them, reporters, telling it like it is. Bravo to all of them. So, as I promised, this is a very simple forecast. I do think that after today's election, there's going to be a certain amount of time in which things are not getting done, not being completed, perhaps. We have to wait and see, because with Mercury right at the brink of the shadow of the retrograde, things are ready to be unsettled. And it's only after Mercury goes direct that we'll see the results of that. That doesn't mean nothing's going to be happening. A great deal is going to be happening. And particularly with the new moon and the full moon, because this is all behind the scenes. And so I wish all of us a beautiful rest of 2024. I ask that we be blessed by leaders who come from love, who want to help recreate our beautiful country and fill it with loving people who care and are here to serve, who are led. And you know how I very often have said, some of you have been chosen, but you're not moving forward yet. I would suggest that now is the time to spread your wings, share your beautiful truth with the people you love. And as I've said before, you've been chosen. So if not you, who? If not now, when? We need all of our light workers, all of our walk-ins, all of those who are able to share their spiritual knowledge so that it can be made manifest physically. And so till we meet again, this is Maxine Taylor saying, bless you, and may the stars shine brightly on you and yours and the United States of America. Bye for now.